into landscape, even though YouTube's rotating into landscape, the phone's not doing what it's supposed to do. So I don't know how well this is going to work. You got to tell me what you can see. It's a very strange screen. Bear with me. Right, hang on. Let me just get this refreshed. Honestly, technology. Now, is that the one? I think so. So I had to abort the first live stream because I was trying to fix the problem. Oh, honestly. What's going on? What does it look like? That's crap, isn't it? I don't like that. Anyway, we'll have to go with it. I spent about half an hour trying to fix it and it wouldn't fix. So it is what it is for today. It's a funny kind of day. It's pouring down a rain. I was supposed to be doing concreting today. That's not going to happen. So I'm going up to Auckland tomorrow. And I have to take the big trailer. Some good news. A good friend of mine that I work with has found me 10 more potato boxes, big potato crates. So he says, well, if you come down on Friday on your way home, you can pick them up. So there you go. In exchange for helping him fix his tractor. I've got a tractor to fix. It's pretty cool. Here we go. Mike, Roger Heaps, good morning. Andy and crew, good morning, Roger. Simon, good morning, Andy and crew. Good morning, Simon. We've got Mike Bazansky, good morning, all. Good morning, Mike. Sheldon, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Sheldon. We do have a pie. Sheldon, have you ever seen these before? Oh, honestly, stupid camera. There you go, look. These are a Pat's Pantry pies, award-winning. So we'll wait and see. It's only a steak, not steak and cheese. So this is going to be really weird doing the live stream like this. Honestly, the screen's tiny, but there's not a lot I can do. I mean, I remember turning off the auto rotate when I first opened up the phone this morning, and then the icons just disappeared. I can't find it anywhere. I've gone into the settings, turned on the auto rotate, and it's not auto rotating. Maybe I've got to reboot the phone, but I didn't have time to do that. So it is what it is. Mike Bazansky, technical challenges. Yes, Mike, absolutely. Winds me up. Good guess, Mike. Peter Swatman, hey, Andy and crew. Good morning, Peter. Right. Now, because of the issues, you've got a different view today. The workshop is still pretty much full of bikes. I didn't have time to put them all outside, so this is the view you get today. Sorry. Jim K, there he is. Good morning, Jim. Hope you're all good, matey. Have I missed any of your calls? I don't think so. We had a good chat earlier in the week, didn't we? It was all good. Simon, have you seen the rest of Mono Enduro? I have seen it, and it's brilliant. It really is. How can I comment on it without giving the whole thing away? I was very, very disappointed to see that some of the group decided to abort mission, but good on the ones that carried on. Honestly, it was a good trip, a really good trip. The one thing that I really longed for, once I'd watched the whole DVD, was more footage. You know, it was an epic journey. I'm sure that they had some more. Well, I know they had more footage because they had 21 odd hours of footage that they recorded. But obviously there was only so much edited into the DVD, and I'm sure there'll be quite a bit more that would be quite interesting to watch as well. So yeah, bloody good though. They should do it. They should put it online with all the footage. Then you could just watch it, put it on the background, you know. Simon, have you? Yes, sorry, I have. Kill Switch. Hey guys, hope all is well in your corners of the world. Yeah, it's not bad, in all honesty. Doing okay. My back's a lot better, to be honest. A little bit happy with that now. It still twinges now and again, but it's definitely on the mend. But man, I don't know what I did to it. It was just ridiculous. I wasn't doing anything over strenuous at all. It was just one of those dumb things. John Nuttall. Okay, Andy wants with small screen. Oh, what's with the small screen? Okay, so my S20 has decided for some unknown reason not to allow me to rotate the screen this morning. I don't know what's going on. I tried to fix it. I even aborted the first live stream thinking, oh, I'll give it another go, see if I can get it to work. Even YouTube said, turn your phone around, which I did, and it didn't recognize the fact that I'd auto-rotated the phone, so something's not quite right. I don't know. I just don't know. It's just one of those things. I'll have it fixed for next weekend. If it kills me, I will. I really don't like the screen, but it is what it is. I apologize. Is the audio okay? Tell me about that. At least something might be good. Jim K, listening from the road, making a delivery. What a bloke. Jim is always working. He's like me. There's always stuff going on in the background, you know. I would bring the camera down a bit, but I don't know. All you'll see is bench. Bit weird, isn't it? Mike Bazansky, slay any more rats last week? No, not yet. Although Marmite came into the workshop this morning and was very, very inquisitive under this workbench. So there may well be a long-term sleeping ratty down there. So I'll have to have a mooch around and see what I can find. I can't smell anything yet, and there's no additional flies. So maybe she just smelt, you know, the scent of a rat as opposed to an actual rat. Simon, the second one is Terra Circa, where the lads go back and do the bits of the world they missed. Ooh. Simon, you've got me very interested now. I need to take a picture of that. I've got to find that DVD. Terra Circa. I even searched Google to try and fix the problem, honestly. Anyway, such is life. Right, there we go. It's in the phone. It's there forever. Kill switch. Audio fine, but enjoying the slim look you got on LOL. I don't think it makes me look any so. I tell you what, I completely fill the screen now, don't I? Yes, it's maybe I can give you a little bit of a view of the workshop just so you can see what's going on around me. We've got the messy toolbox. What have we got around there? You can see all that bit. That's okay. You can see around there. Look, there's the laptop. Big air compressor. We come around the back this way again. Dum 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 dum. You can see around there. I know there's nothing around there. There's the lathe. Awesome bike on the hoist. Oh, can we go any further? There's the table. Can we go any further? I think we're about there. That's it. That's all. That is your view for today. How's that? I'll put a bit further back. Has that affected the audio? Can you still hear me okay? I hope so. Maybe we can come down a little bit. Wait, hang on. There. Is that any better? Probably not. I'm just messing around for the sake of it. So, I went up to Kaitaia, not this last week, but the week before, you know all this. And, ta-da! It is a wheel. You can't see all there, look. I picked up the front wheel for the DR200 Farm Special, which I had built up with super strong stainless steel spokes. And, well, as you well know, we didn't get a chance to use this wheel. It was going to get put in the bike for the trip. And of course, you know, because of lockdowns and COVID and limited travel and stuff, I couldn't get there to pick it up. Plus, I had pretty much limited communication with the guy that does the wheel building as well. So he's quite a hard chap to get hold of, unfortunately. But we had a good chat, and when I got there eventually, and he's still very, very happy to do a video on wheel building. I need to crack on because he's actually going to sell the business to another chap that he's currently training up. So hopefully in the next few weeks, maybe a couple of months, I can get down there. We can get that video made. It'll be pretty much a full day's filming for me. But he agrees completely that here in New Zealand, at least, the skill set for doing what he does and the workshop equipment that he's got is extremely limited here in New Zealand. He can make up his own spokes. He buys the blanks, but he cuts them to length and puts the threads on. And I think he's the only one that can do full stainless steel spokes and be able to put the threads on. All the other guys that can make up the spokes can only do the steel ones with the galvanized sort of finish to them. Which is pants, in all honesty. The stainless steel ones are much, much better. Some bad news. I did get offered another DR200 in Taupo. Stu, a good friend of mine, was up from Invercargill, and he called in to see this chap he's a suspension specialist. And he called in, and in the corner of his garage was a DR200. And Stu inquired, what are you doing with that? Because I know a guy that sort of specializes in DR200s now. And he says, oh, I bought it for my daughter, and we've never really finished the project. If you know someone that could take it off my hands, then please organize it. So Stu flicked me through the guy's text, his mobile phone number. I flicked him a text. Nothing happened for a week. So I texted him again, and then he got back to me and said, oh, it's gone. It went yesterday. So I missed it. I missed out. And it was the cost of the bike was a box of beer. $20. Yes, kicked myself there, but what more could I do? I mean, I texted the guy straight away and I didn't get a response. So whether it's fate, I don't know. Mrs. Mechanic was saying you don't need any more bikes, but yeah, $20 bike, you need it, definitely. Where we are, Simon, I see a blue brand, lol. You did, actually. I think you caught the front wheel and maybe a fender. But that's all right. It might be a different brand in disguise. Let's just put it down to that. Jim K, I need to speak with you about a final drive this week. No problem at all, Jim. We can do that. I'll be driving up to Auckland in the morning. I hope the weather's going to be better. Yesterday we went through all my scrap metal because we're having a bit of a tidy up, and loaded the back of the ute. The tray is absolutely full of scrap metal. It's very, very heavy. So I'll have plenty of grip on the rear wheels, probably not quite so much grip on the front wheels, unfortunately. So I'll have to take it nice and steady. I'll have the big trailer on. The big trailer will be loaded up with lots of Ben's workshop gear and bikes and all sorts of stuff. So it's going to be quite a heavy load back up to Auckland. Speaking of heavy loads, yesterday morning we went to go and get some more builder's mix, which is the sand and gravel mix that you use for concreting. I took the big trailer because I thought, well, we'll get plenty while we're there. So the guy says, well, how much do you want? I says, well, because they sell it by the scoop. And it's a bit weird, I know. So he said, do you want 1 scoop, 2 scoops, or more scoops? And I said, well, how heavy is a scoop? Oh, it's 0.4 of a cubic meter, but we don't know how heavy it is. So, okay, let's try 5 and see how we get on. So we put 5 scoops in the trailer. And he did put it reasonably well spread out. So that was like, okay. And I thought, well, looking at it, I'm thinking that's probably going to be enough. It looks quite heavy. We'll call it 5. And then we promptly then put 20 bags of cement in the back of the ute. My God, it was heavy. It was a very heavy load. We came to this T-junction in the township where we got the mix from. And it was probably only a 5, maybe a 10 degree slope at the very most to pull out onto the road. And I looked to the left, no cars. This is great. Looked to the right, there was a car miles back. Great, plenty of time to pull out. So off I went, just applied the throttle as you normally do to set off, and nothing happened. It just stayed where it was. The truck didn't move an inch. And I'm thinking, this isn't good at all. So I gave it the full beans. And the old engine's revving high, and we start to creep forward. And I'm not kidding, creep forwards. And it took probably about 30 seconds to cross the road and get into the lane. 30 seconds. By which time, of course, this car that was way in the distance was really getting quite close. We did get pulled out just in time. But it really, obviously, it told me that there's probably a little bit too much gravel on the trailer. So take it nice and steady home, Mr. Young, which we did. I think top speed was about 65 kilometers an hour before the truck didn't feel over happy. So we took a little bit longer to get home, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad at all. We got back, and then we spent a couple of hours with shovels and Trevor the tractor unloading, making a nice big heap of builder's mix. And then we sheeted it all up, which I'm pleased we did because it's been raining all night and it's still raining now. The plan was to do some concreting today. It's not going to happen. So at least I can spend all day doing Ben's stuff and try and get as much on the trailer as I can. Make it a good run. Machine NZ, morning Andy. Vertical. makes you look slimmer long. Does it? How's that? No, I don't believe that for a minute. Is the Ranger a 3.2 or a 2 litre, a 3.2 litre or a 2 litre bi-turbo? It is the 3.2 litre 6-speed. I did get offered, actually, earlier in the year. Actually, no, it was just before Christmas, it would have been, because that's when they gave me the silver one. Before they gave me the silver one, they said, look, we've got 2 brand new utes coming in on the fleet. They're the bi-turbo ones. Would you like one of those? So I looked up the stats and I thought, 2 litres. Ooh, it's not enough, is it, really, to be fair? Especially when I tow the big trailer around quite a bit. And I just thought that I think it's like a 7-speed or an 8-speed or something. It's just monstrous gearbox on it. And I thought, well, to be fair, all it will do is spend its entire life when I'm towing, deciding when to change gear and changing gear, and then deciding it's the wrong idea and change another gear. It would massively overwork the gearbox, and I don't think it would have had the kind of torque that I needed. So I decided to decline and take on a second-hand ute, one that was from another member of staff that had left. And I'm very, very pleased that I did. I know I made the right call there. Sheldon, poor transmissions. I know. Yes, Sheldon, it worked very hard that morning. It really did. But it did the job. Ford Ranger came through again. It did the trick. You know, good bit of kit. I must admit, I've never really been a fan of Fords, dare I say it. I mean, I grew up with Fords in the UK, the European Fords, not the other stuff, the American Fords and things. But both the black one, which did a lot of work, and this one, have performed incredibly well. And this one's got a long way to go yet. Bruce Cleaver, is your Ranger rated at 3.5 ton? I think they are one of 3 makes in the UK that are. Yes, the Ford Ranger is a full 3.5 ton tow capacity. Although, to be fair, I was doing some calculations and I reckon we probably had, including the weight of the trailer, and this is only a guesstimate, there was probably about 5 tons behind that Ranger yesterday. And then there was 0.5 ton of cement in the back of it as well. Yeah. I didn't know that until after the trip. So it wasn't done intentionally. I massively underestimated the weight of the builder's mix. And we all make mistakes. We're only human, so you drive accordingly, nice and steady. Kill switch. Spoiler alert. New Andy video coming. Clutch change. Thanks to overloading. Luckily, it's an auto. But if it had been a manual transmission, yes, the clutch would have got rather warm pulling out of that junction. That's for sure. I could have used low box, but I didn't know at the time, and I was already committed. I was already, the wheels were already rolling, and I really did expect it to take quite as long to pull out of the junction as it did. Bruce Cleaver for towing. Sheldon, 5 tons. Yes, I think there's probably approximately 5 tons behind that truck. I sent a photo. In fact, I can show you actually. It's in here. I can show you the picture. Bear with me. Bear with me, people. Where are we? There we are. Right. So that is the trailer and the cement. It doesn't look that heavy, does it, to be honest? But believe me, it was heavy enough. Yes. So it took us, like I said, about 2 hours to unload that. Trevor did a great job, but we couldn't scoop all of it straight out of the trailer bed using the bucket. We had to do a bit of shoveling as well, but that was all right. It worked out pretty well. Oh, here's another spoiler alert. Well, not spoiler alert. Here's a picture from the past. There's a photo. Any of you on Facebook will have seen this recently. There is a photo of me many, many years ago down at Frank Atkinson Unimogs in the Lake District, pretty much they are. By the day that I picked up my very first Unimog. Look at that. What a photo. Don't think you can you make me out? Okay, yeah, I'm the guy there, look. That's me. And I'm behind the steering wheel because it's a left-hand drive. Yes, we only got left-hand drives. It used to work in Germany. And if you can just see on the door, very bad paint job, you can just see on the door there's some orange. Just up there, look. Yeah, for some unknown reason they hadn't sprayed that bit, so I don't know why. That's probably one of the reasons why I put a giant sticker on there. In fact, no, actually, that could be a reflection. That could be a reflection from an orange Unimog next door, parked up next door, actually, looking at that. Because I don't remember having any orange on the door. I think it's a reflection. All the council Unimogs in Germany were painted that orange, a really bright orange. And this one was used for, its main job was snowplowing. It had all the snowplow attachments and stuff at the front and all the hydraulics and stuff for raising and lowering it and things. So, and it actually had the PTO drive front and rear when we bought it, which we didn't need. So I took it off and sold it back to Frank. He then put me a credit on my parts account. Then I was able to buy, consumables for it. And believe me, we did get through a few consumables. We replaced all the springs. We replaced all the brake discs. It got through brake pads pretty quick. Because, working in the forest, it's a pretty rough environment. A lot of mud and stuff getting on there. That machine, by the way, only weighed 5 tons. It was a short wheelbase U1000, but it was rated, because it had air brakes, it was rated to tow 22 tons. Just unbelievable. And because it was registered as a tractor, it was also allowed to tow 2 trailers, not 1. Just mind-blowing piece of kit. Really, really good. So when I was driving, I went to go and take that bike back that I did the repairs on Friday. And just bear with me, I'm going to try and find you another photo. Come on, phone, wake up. Loads of phone problems this morning. And where is it? There, look. I spotted 4 of the New Zealand military Unimogs. I know it's a really shit picture because it's just, a photo onto live stream. But anyway, there's 4 Unimogs there. Again, that photo is on Facebook if you want to check it out. And that one, at the end, that's going to be mine. I put my name on it. They don't know this yet, but I put my name on it because it's got the winch on the front. And I need a winch. If I'm going to get a Unimog, you have to have a winch on the front. Because if you get it stuck, not that it gets stuck very often, but if you ever get one stuck, without a winch, you're never going to get it out. Big hydraulic winch on the front, that's what you need. That might be a PTO-driven winch. I don't know. I didn't want to go up and have a look because they were all there and they're all armed doing an exercise. And they would have got very upset, I'm sure, if I was there taking photos of their Unimog whilst they're trying to do an exercise. So anyway, Alan, I sent my boss, Alan, that photo of the trailer full of gravel. And there was about a 5-minute delay before I got a response. And the response was, the sooner you get a Unimog, the better, Mr. Young. So, obviously, the Unimog purchase is now fully endorsed by my boss as well. Which will be good when I turn up to work in it one day. Probably with the ute in the back. That would wind him up. Simon, it's not an Andy road trip without an overloaded trailer. It does seem that way. I was waiting to get stopped by the cops. I really was. Manny Mechanic, I would love a Unimog. Yes, I would very much like another Unimog. Could you imagine, now I've got Trevor the tractor, that when we're clearing the garden out, I could load the mog up and take it down to the local tip with all the rubbish. I wonder what they'd charge me, because, would they class it as a ute? Probably not. Would they class it as a trailer? It's not a trailer. Don't know. Might be a cheaper way of getting rid of stuff. 1967 DKB, what's up with the small screen? The small screen is because my stupid Samsung S2 has lost the screen rotate icon. I turned it off by accident this morning. I meant to turn off the Wi-Fi, I think it was. No, it was on airplane mode for some reason. I was doing some filming, and I think Mrs. Mechanic was on Facebook and there was messages firing through, and I just turned it onto airplane mode. So I had to turn that off, but I pressed the wrong icon, being an idiot, and that icon now has completely disappeared from the menu. I went into settings, turned on the landscape mode, and it still doesn't want to know. So thanks, Samsung. Great job. Well done. So my sincere apologies. I'll have it fixed for next weekend. I will, because it's bloody annoying. It really is. But we'll make the best of it. Kill Switch BB. Think of all those pies you will be able to carry back home with a machine that could tow that amount of tonnage. I could do pie deliveries around New Zealand in a Unimog, couldn't I? That will be fun. Taking pies to people that can't get pies. Simon, notice the feature on the new bike scan tool. Ooh, click info on the DCTS. Click info, okay. And if there is a tech bulletin, the codes, it takes you to it. That's very, very cool. In fact, Simon, I actually had, after you sent me that, I had a tech, in fact, the owner from one of the motorcycle shops that I go to rang me and he said, we need a diagnostic tool, a scan tool for all brands. What would you recommend? So I included all the information that you sent through of yours, Simon, and we priced it up here in New Zealand. It was about, I think it was about $1,800 from memory, between $1,500 and $1,800, which I thought he didn't think was too bad at all, and I thought it was pretty good. There is another one that another dealership has over on the East Coast in Napier, and theirs, they totally said to me it was about $8,000, but I can't believe it was that much. So he went for one like yours. He's going to explore that and try and get hold of one of those, Simon. He thought it was very good, actually. Jim Haynes, rained out at the sprint car races. Oh, seriously? You've got rain as well? So I came to hit the like button like everybody else should. Of course they should. My sincere apologies about the screen. I'm sorry. It's just technology, honestly. But yes, if you're enjoying the live stream, why not click on the like button? Simon, for the price, it's very good value. I think it's bloody awesome value, to be honest. I think it will soon earn its money, because you do charge out the diagnostic connection, and it's important that dealers do that. Anyway, pie type, what have we got? Well, just park up the cigarette for a second. We've got a Pat's Pantry. I can hardly see the screen. It's full of messages at the moment. We've got a Pat's Pantry steak pie. Now, we were driving back from Bulls on Friday, and Mrs. Mechanic goes, "Oh, you'll need a pie for your live stream." I'm like, you are correct. Because I always forget, she's very good at that kind of stuff, reminded me. So we were driving through, I'm going to pronounce this wrongly, Taihape, that place. I wrote it down, look, Taihape. And the shop it came from was called the Quick Stop Convenience Store. I just put Quick Stop Shop on there because I couldn't write convenience store, I ran out of room. Quick Stop Shop in Taihape. Taihape actually has a very large Honda motorcycle dealership in there. Which really just does farm stuff, but they sell a lot of units down there. They really do. Anyway, back to the pie. Pat's Pantry go on to say, proudly made in New Zealand of the finest ingredients. Well, we'll be the judge of that, won't we? Ingredients, what's it say? Wheat flour, animal, vegetable fats, tasty. Salt, emulsifier, soy, acidity regulator, colour, antioxidant, more soy, preservative, a raising agent, a free flow agent. That could be bad, couldn't it? We don't want flow. Maize starch. Beef filling is 25% of the pie. It's not looking good. Wheat flour, maize, starch, onion, salt, pepper, flavour, soy, more soy, protein, yeast extract, soybean oil, acidity regulator, caramel colour, and anti-caking agent, whatever the hell that is. So 25% of this pie is actually the steak. The rest of it is other stuff. I mean, to be fair, it can't be too bad because they were established in 1972, the same year that I was established, actually. So this pie company is the same age as I am. Oh, and it says it might contain nuts. What the hell? Luckily, I'm not allergic to nuts. Used by Frozen, the 2nd of the 5th, 23, next year. Used by Fresh, the 14th of the 5th, 22. 14th. That was yesterday. I'll be all right. I'll survive. Okay, let's finish the cigarette, then we'll get it in the pie warmer. Sheldon, can you send me the info on the scan tool, please? Of course I can, Sheldon. No problem. Simple Spin. What? Matt Farage here. Thanks for the show. Hey, no problem, Simple Spin. Matt, should I say. Cheers, Matt. Simon, there you go. OBD Star MS50 motorbike diagnostic tool. It's the basic tool with upgrade options. The MS80 is the full version. There you go, Sheldon. Get the MS80 purchased. With the way that bikes are going, following cars, you need a scan tool. You really do. OBD Star. Looks pretty good. I don't have one, unfortunately. I have one for a particular brand, which is theirs, not mine. But I have the scope, and the scope's great. I like using the scope. But if you had the two together, which I use in my role, it gives you a lot more information. It's much quicker to diagnose stuff. It really is, especially when you know how to use it. John Nuttall, how is the back? It's all right. It's probably going to stiffen up a little bit because it's quite cold this morning in the workshop. And I've got I was doing a lot of lifting yesterday, and we've got a lot of lifting to do today as well. So probably Monday I'll get in my truck to start driving, and then when I get out 4 hours later, it's going to hurt. I just know it's going to hurt, but we'll be all right. Next week I'm at head office all week, working in the workshop, believe it or not, alongside my predecessor. Yes, he's back in the workshop helping me out. Top bloke, and I'm sure he'll recount many, many good stories. We'll have a good time. Yes, thank you for doing that, Simon. Do appreciate it. It saves me doing an email. So just Google it, Sheldon, and there is an importer for those here in New Zealand because we've got a New Zealand price. So you should easily be able to find it. Okay, we're going to head over to the pie warmer in portrait, which is going to be a bit weird, but we'll make it work. Okay, first of all, a quick view of the pie. God, it almost fills the screen, doesn't it? There you go, look. There is the pie. There we go, look, it's working okay. Right, and has it got any kind of structural defects? It's dropping pastry in my coffee, hang on. Leave me coffee, there we go. Dum 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 dum, dum dum dum. It's not bad, is it? It's not bad. Base is looking pretty good. There does appear, actually, what's that? Is that cracking? Very minor. Well, it's more of a fold than cracking around here. So it might be all right. And the lid, the top, isn't too bad at all. So there is hope. Okay, right, I'm going to turn you around. 3. Oh, geez, hang on. Let's just put you there. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Right. Got to be super careful how we do this because there's lots of vehicles in the workshop that you're not allowed to see. So we'll go around this way. There you go, Sheldon. Still there, look. Hanging in there. Right. That's a Suzuki. We're okay. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, dum, dum. Ah, the pie warmer. Right. Make my pie nice. There we go, look. Boom. Perfect. That was easy, wasn't it? So since you're in portrait mode, you can see a lot more. Look at all that. You can see all the pies that were reviewed since, well, I don't know, when did we start? A long time ago, wasn't it? But there's still a few more to go on that are written in my book that I've done on the road trips. Bad news is, I did notice this morning, to go in the cupboard, we're getting quite low on the little white strips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 left. So it's only 9 more pies. So I'm going to have to get some more of those ordered because there's going to be a lot more pies yet. There really is. Right. Back to the bench. Look at that. It's warming up already. Look. Nom, 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 nom. It needs a bit of a clean, actually. It's getting a bit grubby as the old pie warmer. Right. Back to the bench without showing any other vehicles apart from the Suzuki. Oh, look at that machine. What a piece of kit. Honestly. Can't wait to get that one fired up again and running properly because it doesn't run very well at the moment. It only sort of idles, and it definitely needs a carb clean. That's what it needs. Carb clean. We'll get there one day. Right. Bring you around. Give you a close-up of the wheel. Look at that. Stainless steel spokes. All nicely tensioned up. Just to let you know, we got a new rim at the same time. Ken, the wheel builder, supplied that. And to get this one wheel done, laced up with the brand new spokes and new nipples and a new rim, was $450. I'll say that again, $450. Very, very expensive. Pretty much the same price as a complete wheel from Suzuki. But this one has got much stronger spokes. The Suzuki spokes do break. We've come across those a few times on the bikes that come off the farm. So this one definitely, more capable of withstanding my kind of riding and carrying weight on the bike. What else? Oh, also I went shopping. I got some more, paid some extortionate prices for some more screws for the wood, and I got some new gate hinges as well. Look at that, because I'm going to have to mount the gate on that new gate post as a temporary measure. There we go. Right, bring you round very carefully, very carefully. There we go. Right, turn you round again. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's really weird being on this side of the workshop doing a live stream, especially in portrait mode. Only 11 likes. Come on, people. There's 23 viewers. I know the screen layout's not ideal. I know it is. It's going to put people off. But it is what it is. I can't change it. Where do we get to? Simon, hit the like, crew. Absolutely. Thanks, Simon. Simple spin. I worked for a few years in a wood shop. My friend's dad, back around in 1988, stayed at Birmingham Palace to oversee the Queen's furniture being refinished. Wow, bit of history there. Simple spin. 72 Suzuki. No, it's not 72. I know it looks old. It's a TF125. That bike is only, it's not road registered. I would say it's probably about 4 years old. They did still make them up until recently. They only stopped selling them about 18 months ago, 2 years ago, I think. And there's still some pretty tidy ones around, actually. And I am on the lookout for one more. I always seem to buy things in pairs. I'd like to get another one. I would. Don't ask me why. I just like to. Sheldon. I'm getting a 125 two-stroke to ride from ex-world champion. To ride from an ex-world champion. Yes, I'm stoked. I bet you are. That will go well. Simple spin. I know a guy that has one of those bikes without an engine in it. Really? That could be. I have got a spare engine, actually. I got given a spare engine for one of these. It's under the bench at the moment. Or is it? No, it's in Ben's ute. I moved all the engines out of the workshop. It's in Ben's ute. Exactly the same engine. Don't have other bits in it. I don't think it has a carb on it. But yes, if that bike's in New Zealand without the engine in, let me know. It might be the one. 1967 DKB. Wonder what animals the nuts came from. Don't say that. I've got to eat it. Wow, really? Says Simple Spin. It looked like a mid-70s. It's pretty much a mid-70s design, to be honest. His is about a 1976. Wow. It's probably. Are you sure it's a 125? Because we've got the older brother of that one outside, which is the one, I think it's a 175 or 185, which Roger gave me, which is actually outside in the rain at the moment. Sorry, Roger. So maybe it's one of those. But yes, I would definitely have another one of those for sure. Jim Haynes. In the late 70s, I went to the Harley-Davidson factory in York, Pennsylvania. So I was getting confused there. There wasn't a Harley-Davidson factory in York that I know, but in Pennsylvania. And they had a station where there were 4 or 5 people building wheels, and they could build 4 wheels an hour with one shriving. Holy crap, that's quick going. But if you're doing repetitive work like that, you do get really quick at it. I remember when I was working for Mercedes in Barcelona as a poor student. I was on a work exchange thing. This is going back to when I was about 21st birthday over there, so about 21 basically. And there was a guy there, and they taught us every step of assembling a 5-cylinder diesel. It was about a 3.5 litre, if I remember rightly. A 5-cylinder diesel engine that Mercedes used in a lot of the vans and stuff at the time. And when we got to one of the first jobs we did was, put the crank in and put the caps on. And he taught us how to do that. But in the factory, normally when you're fitting caps onto bearing shells, you tighten down the two bolts really, really evenly and then finally torque them up. That didn't happen. That's what I've been taught to do at college. He would, oil up the shell in the block, all the shells, just dribble all the oil on, put the crank in, oil up the shells in the caps, put those on, drop all the bolts in, and I kid you not, he just went down with an air impact wrench and buzzed them all down. Zum, 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 all on one side of the cap, and then zum, 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 all down on the other side of the cap. And I stood there in absolute disbelief. I'm like, that's completely wrong. But that's what he did. And then he went down and torqued them all up. And I'm thinking, holy crap, how can you get away with that? Surely you should do them evenly, build one side, bit on the other, and then build them up to torque. But that's what he did, and they did it for years. And the same guy taught us how to do he grabbed another engine off the production line, and he taught us how to do the valve clearances. And there were manual tappets. And I'm not kidding, right? This guy was able to hold all the tools in his hand, feeler gauge and so on, all the tools in his hands to do the valve clearance. And it was like poetry watching him work. He was just, work his way along the head, turn the crank a bit, and he would just do all the valve clearances, and he'd have them all done in probably 4 or 5 minutes, and there was 10 valves, 5 cylinders, 1 exhaust, 1 inlet, 10 valves, and he knew it off by heart. He knew which ones he could do without rotating the crank again, and it was just great watching him work. But I was very, very surprised about how he fitted the crank caps. Very, very surprised. Flabbergasted. Symbols went, his is a 250. Ooh, okay. Sounds even better. Wow, Jim. Now, Simon says, the TS must be the farm version of the TS. I believe it is. The first year of production was 1969. Wow. Been around a long time, haven't they? And it is a shame, I think, that the two-stroke stuff has just been wheedled out very, very quickly over the years recently. Yeah, I can't think of any two-stroke farm bikes now. I don't think there are. I think they're all four-stroke here in New Zealand. Ben T. Hardick. Hey, mate. Is it hard to replace missing spokes and true the rim? It isn't. It's not hard. Not hard at all. Obviously, you've got to take the tyre off, and get some replacement spokes. Pop them in. If you've got a truing jig, which you probably haven't, they make it a lot easier. But you can do it on the bike. But you'll need some kind of a guide if it's a rear wheel, or whichever, front or rear. Just put a bit of wire, quite rigid wire, clamp it to the fork or to the swing arm, and bend it into place so you can get it very, very close to the rim. And then as you turn the rim, you'll see the run out, so to speak, of the rim side to side. And if you want the rim to move towards your adjuster, then you tighten the spoke if it's a spoke on that side of the rim. But you do also, if the spokes are already at the right tension, you've also got to loosen off the 2 adjacent spokes on the other side of the rim. There is a video that I did doing a wheel build on Ben's TDR 250. It's not the best video in the world. I don't do wheel building on a regular basis. I do it when I have to do it. I try and avoid it if I can. And in fact, the only reason why I got that one done for the DR was because the guy needed the rim to make up the spoke set. And I said, oh, just make up the rim while you're there. You can fit the spokes and true it. I'll just pay you the extra. Otherwise, I'd have done it myself. But when we do the video with him showing you how to do the whole process from measuring the rim, the offset or the dish, to actually measuring the spokes, making the spokes, and then actually building the wheel from scratch, lacing it all up, and then doing the truing process, that I think will be a really, really good video to help people do their own wheels. I really do. I think it'd be fantastic. A lot better than I can do. Because he's got some great machinery as well. He really has some good gear. That he was showing me when I went down to pick up the wheel, that some of this machinery he's actually made himself to help his job, to make it easier and quicker. So I'd be interested to see that and capture it on camera as well. So yes, Ben, I do have a video showing you how to true a rim. And if you're only replacing a couple of spokes, it's not a big problem. I used to do it loads on bicycle wheels when I worked for Bike Barn here in New Zealand. They've gone now, unfortunately. Ben still works for this, not the same company, but the shop that he works in belonged to the same company. It's been bought out twice now since then, but he's still working there. And Ben regularly builds wheels up and trues wheels and does all that. He's very, very good lad actually. And there's no reason why Ben couldn't do a motorcycle wheel. It's exactly the same process. Hang on. So yes, Ben, if you have a look through the many videos on the channel, you'll definitely find that one. I think there's actually a couple on wheels. Harry Darg, I miss you all. We miss you too, Harry. Back in the hospital again. This liver infection's going to kill me soon. I guess along with the liver cancer and the cancer that spread through my whole... Holy moly. Hey, Harry, that's not good, mate. It's not good at all. I'm really sorry to hear that, pal. That sounds very similar to what my dad went through, and he didn't survive, unfortunately. But hang in there, good buddy. Hang in there. You might be all right. They might be able to fix you. Simon used to have an outboard of a brand that was 100. 100 was 100 to 1. 100 to 1 two-stroke mix. Wow, big shame. Two smokes are phased out now. 100 to 1. That's crazy. Yes, two strokes are very quickly getting phased out. You can still get, I think you can still buy two-stroke outboards here in New Zealand. I'm sure you can. I'm not really into the marine stuff, but I'm sure you can. But they won't be around for much longer, I'm sure. Jim Haynes. Speaking of doing bottom end work on engines on YouTube, if you look up Cleveet Clinic, there is a film by the bearing company showing step-by-step proper bearing replacement, and it's extremely good. I will check that out because we're going to be watching videos today while we're working. I do like to put YouTube on, so we'll have a look at that one. YouTube is a fantastic resource, isn't it? There's so much stuff on there. Sometimes it's hard to find things, though. It's good to have referrals. Ben T. Hardick. Thanks, mate. I'll give it a try. No problem, Ben. Simple Spin. I have 3 two-stroke mopeds. One does 47. Is that miles per hour? But that's pretty quick for a moped. Jim Haynes. The Enviro nuts hate engines, and two-strokes were legislated out first. Yeah, I think purely because of the smoke screen that you leave behind. Ben loves it when he rides his TDR. Absolutely brilliant. Open the throttle and a big plume of smoke, billows across the car that you've just overtaken. It's fantastic. Simon, YouTube has saved my bacon more than once. It has. In fact, I might even be looking at YouTube to see if I can fix my phone on there. I have no idea what's happened. I've never had that problem before. It's really bizarre why the icon, when you pull the screen down, you get all your little settings and stuff. It was right there, and it's not there anymore. Most bizarre. Go away, fly. Simple Spin. Yes, racing crank, bigger car, better pipe. Goes faster. Faster's good. Now, what else have we got? I don't think we've got much else to do actually today other than pie. I wonder how far off the pie is. Let's go and have a look. Let's go and check out how far our pie's got to go because I'm getting bloody hungry. Right, turning around. 3, 2, 1, boom. Right. Oh, Mrs. Mechanic hasn't yet used her hedge trimmer. It's still there, look, on the bench from last week. Right, bring it around nice and slow because I know YouTube doesn't like going fast. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, we've still got a few minutes to go. What are we on? 10 minutes, about 6 minutes. Oh, it's looking good though, isn't it? Look at that. Nice. Keep the heat in, Andy, keep the heat in. Oh, it's just starting to crack. Oh, look at that. We've got a bit of a crack. The lid's lifting off the side. There you go, look at that. That could lead to a pytastrophe, could that? That's bad. Oh, I nearly ate some of the peanut butter we've got for the rats. It says rats only. I nearly had some the other day. I was getting hungry, but I didn't. I thought, no, that's Mr. Ratty's. It's not mine. We'll have to leave that in there. But I am going to set the traps again tonight because there's definitely another one out there somewhere. I'll give you a close-up. I'm sure we've looked at this bike before. Weird wheel design. This metal plate here, which obviously the spokes on the right-hand side connect to, can be unbolted from the hub. This is steel, is this bit. Whereas obviously the main hub is aluminum, as you guys call it. So I thought that was a really weird part of the design where you can actually unbolt that from the main hub. Very strange. It's got the high-performance drum brake on there. Very professional. 0 stopping power probably. But yeah, I like it. I just like the rugged design. I'll be very careful. Nearly got the other bikes in the picture, I think. It's got some pretty severe wiring problems at the moment. You can see it's been bodged many times. See if I can get it to focus. There we are, look. That's better. Yeah, not ideal. I like all the little modifications. Let's see the little spaces there, look, for the front mudguard. We can make it work, says Suzuki. It's pretty cool. Dom, 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 dom. And it has got already the dual stands. Look at this. It's got a stand. It's not often you see a stand on the right-hand side of the bike, is it? But that's pretty standard for farm bikes. Look, another stand. Dual stands. Very cool. Somebody sent me a message. Let's go and find out what it is. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, hang on. It's Roger sent me a picture. Right, I'm just going to turn you around again once that goes away. Boom, there we go. What does Roger have to say? What have we got, Roger? Roger sent... Oh, lots of pictures. Oh, he's got his bar sorted out. Pool table. We've got a pool table in there. We've got some stuff on the wall. All blacks on the wall with a nice rugby shirt. It's coming on. It's coming on. What you need in there, Roger, is some of your classic motorcycles. There you go, look. Very cool. Good job, Roger. It's well, if any of you guys that watched the live stream, I know some of you did, that we did from Roger's farm. That room that he's got is absolutely massive. Used to be used by a guy with it was a train enthusiast, and he had a massive train set in there. Absolutely monstrous. I never saw the train set. It all gone when I got down there, but Roger was saying it was just absolutely enormous, all the gear that he had. Where do we get to? JJ, morning, Andy and crew. I'll have to do it like this, look. Morning, JJ. Good job. I can't do it like normal because it doesn't fit on the screen. There we are. Symbol spin. Yes, I was going to say it looks well built. It is actually quite privileged to have one of those, actually. And hopefully I'm going to try and get it road registered. I might have to do something a bit abstract to make that work because the VIN number won't be in the system. So maybe if I can get a TS125 that is road registered, and then if the frame is basically the same, we could do the same thing as we did with the DR and fit the TS frame, but build it up as the farm bike. Maybe that would work. I'm quite into doing that kind of stuff at the moment. But I'm also really keen to make a start on the CT110. The video of me getting the bike up and running when we first found it has really started to take off. One of the YouTube channels, I forgot the name of it now. What the hell are they called? I can't find it. Anyway, they did a... One of you guys told me about it, and I watched the videos. They did an Alaskan trip on the CT. I think it was a CT90. And my get up and running video has been recommended by YouTube as a video for people to watch after they've watched that one, which is really cool. So of course the views have gone through the roof, and the average watch time, the video is about an hour and, let's say about an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes long, something like that. And the average view time is just astronomical. It's over an hour average view time, which is, I never ever get that. It's just massive. Where do we get to? Geez, Simon, funny rules from the UK. Looking at the emission zones in London, you can't ride a 90s bike with them out. You can't ride a 90s bike without paying. Oh, but a 70s, Simon, your typing's terrible today. But a 70s two-stroke is exempt. What the hell? Purely because of the age, obviously. So basically, if you're going to ride a 90s motorcycle in the emission zones, you've got to pay, but you can ride a 70s two-stroke and it's free. It's just mental, isn't it? Absolutely mental. Simple spin, even got a horn law. It has. John Nuttall, so how did the house sandblasting painting go? Oh, that's a very much an ongoing project. Mrs. Mechanic does keep chipping away at it, pardon the pun. She's almost done the whole of the back of the house, which is very impressive. But again, it's pouring rain today, so it's not going to happen. She tends to do that kind of stuff while I'm away. She's got all the tools. As regards sandblasting, we've not gone down that route yet. She's still just using paint stripper and a scraper, and then she's going to, sand it with the orbital sander. That's probably the way we're going to go. Sandblasting was an option, but she's doing really well with the paint stripping now. So I think we're going to stick with that. I think. She's still got half a drum left. She can get the whole back of the house done with one drum. Then I think that's probably going to be the most cost-effective way of doing it. She's been a lot more frugal with the paint stripper now. Simple spin. The tyres are strictly motocross, but could imagine it as an enduro. I'd love to take that little bike on an enduro, actually. Super light, real easy to handle. Okay, it hasn't got loads of power, but it's not all about the power, is it? It's all about, handling and agility, and when you get stuck, not if you get stuck, how easy it is to get the bike pulled out and get back on the move again. And some of the big heavy bikes, doesn't work. Roger, classic bikes have migrated to our backyard. That sounds a very good idea. I should hope so. Simon, Ed, CT90 Adventures, that's the one. Roger Heaps, oops, your backyard. Yes. I have them here, yes. Oh, I see, yeah, typo. Sorry. Okay, Roger, I have them here. And I'm going to look after them, believe me. Simple spin. A friend has a CT90, a blue 1972 with fat tyres. Cool. I think it's the CT90, not sure. It's got fat tyres. I mean, they did put knobblies on the CT90s, but there's only quite a small distance in the forks, so maybe it's a different model. The pie, gentlemen and ladies, we're only ladies, I don't think we do, gentlemen, is ready. So, should we go and extract the pie from the pie warmer? I think we should. Like the balloon, it's got balloon tyres on it. Yeah, it won't be a CT90 then. It'll be one of those. They did do one, didn't they? With big fat tyres on. Be worth quite a lot of money now, will that? TV90. Jim Haynes, the bearing clinic film is old, but everything they go over is still correct for today. Yeah, bearings haven't changed. TV90, let's have a look at that. TV90, bear with me, people. I'm interested in finding out. Sorry, camera's all over the place. That's it, that'll work. Honda TV90, oh, 90. Images. Nope, nothing comes up. That can't be right, it must be a typo. RV90, okay, we'll try that one then. RV90. That's more like it. That's cool. I like that. Yes. Should really get one of those. Should really get one of those. A Suzuki RV90. Bloody cool. I'll show you the pictures. Bear with me. Turn you around. 3. Oh, sorry, Roger, you got to go away. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Look at that. That's cool. I'd like one of those. Very, very rare here in New Zealand, though. Probably quite expensive to get hold of one. But I will keep my eyes open. I like that idea. Right. Let's go and get this pie. It's had a minute or two to to settle. Dum 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 dum. Nice and slow, not too fast. Yes, there's the horn look. Nice. Okay. The pie is done. Look at that. That's a major fail on the lid. Okay. It's very weird trying to film with such a narrow vision, a narrow, I don't know what you call it, angle, but we'll get there. Right. Okay, turning around again, 3, 2, 1, boom. I think you almost saw some more blue then, didn't you? Jeez, I'm in so much trouble. Okay, there we go. Right. Got me pie sheet. Got me pen. Pen's ready. Get rid of the phone, get rid of the lighter. Okay. So a quick close-up of the pie again, just bringing it round. I think you could almost practically pull the whole lid clean off the pie. I'm not going to do that because that would then, you know, it would affect our results. It's got to fall apart on its own. What's the base like? Base is pretty good, isn't it? Okay. Right, so we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's find the worst bit. There we are, look. And we'll start there. I am so hungry. I'm looking forward to this. So this is, for those that have just joined us, a Pat's Pantry steak pie. Proudly made in New Zealand, of the finest ingredients. And it has 25% of the pie is actual meat. It says that on the packaging. Still quite hot. It's not bad. Maybe the pastry is a little bit dry, I would say. It's quite sort of crumbly is the pastry, especially the base. But it's taken the first bite well. It hasn't affected the structure in any way by the looks of it. There's no cracks, further cracks developed. Oh, wow. She's a warm one. There you go. Nom, 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 nom. You can see the steam coming off it. You can't beat a good hot pie. Quite flaky on the top. We're losing a bit of pastry off the top, look. So it's not looking good for in your car. Holy moly. Good and bad. Nice big chunk of meat. Actually quite tasty, but bloody hot. Really hot. Let me go back to the live stream. Jeez. Where do we get to? Hang on. Hang on, I've got to scroll back. I'm so far behind. Oh, jeez. Not sure, Roger. He paid 400 for it about 8 years ago back. 8 years ago back. And said it's worth about 3k now. That sounds about right to me, does that? It really does. They're crazy money. Yes, he hops curbs with... No! Don't do that. Jim, Honda Trail 70 in the US had big tyres. Not seen one of those here. Great bike. Simple spin. Yes, Jim, could you practically throw... You could practically throw them out of an airplane and there wouldn't be any damage. Bulletproof. Trail 70 and 90 are the cool ones. Roger Heaps. RV90s were very popular late 70s and early 80s. The one to get was the 125 version. I think they were green. I think I've seen one of those. I've seen a green Suzuki with chunky tyres from memory. Only ever seen one 125, but many 90s on farms. Keep your eyes open, Roger. If you can start find me a 90, that'd be great. Simple spin. Walmart used to have decent ones for 50 cents. What? Those pecan ones I liked. 50, what are you on about? 50 cents. Roger Heaps. How's the recovery going, Simon? Simple spin. Lol. Simon, removed as misspelt. QT50, funky drive shaft moped. QT50. Now, QT50. That rings a bell. QT50. Bear with me, I'm concentrating. Oh, look at that. Shaft drive moped. No, I didn't have one of those. A Yamaha hopper. Wow. Innovative, as always, from that particular brand. Very clean, wasn't it? Very clean and, you know, very minimum maintenance. Pretty good. It's cooled down a bit now. Cool. Okay. So taste, stroke, flavour. Well, it's not looking too bad. There is actually quite a lot of meat in there, despite what it said in the on the packaging. Surprisingly, it's raised my expectations now, or it's exceeding my expectations. My expectations were quite low reading the packaging, but now it's actually really good. Taste, stroke, flavour for the contents. Well, so far it's been pretty good. I'm going to give it a 7. The meat was actually quite tasty, the bit that I got. Structure Foley Partners. Well, despite the lid practically coming completely away from the pie, it's bonded down to the contents, so we've not really got a major problem going on. Bit of crusty stuff falling off though, off the top, the pastry, the flaky pastry. 7. I think it's 7 again. We might review that later on though. Runnability, it's gonna win this hands down. It looks quite dry, but it doesn't taste dry, does the contents. So I mean, I can 45 degrees, not a problem. I mean, there's nothing moving. There's just no way that's going to fall out of there. I think all those emulsifiers and chemicals and stuff they put in there has helped it all to sort of bond together. So it's not moving at all. So it gets full marks, 10, surprisingly. Meat quality. Okay, let's see if we can find another chunk of meat. It's got a weird taste to it. It's got a very weird taste. I was waiting for the sort of the stewing steak flavour to come through, but it's not there. But it's also not like premium steak either. There's a bit of steak hanging out. I don't know if you can see that or not. Is it going to focus on there for you? Maybe not. Stupid phone. Big chunk. It doesn't taste bad. It's actually quite nice. I'm going to give it an 8. 8 for meat quality. This pie is very, very surprisingly good so far. Pie to crust ratio. Well, there's some pretty thick pastry going on the edges here. It's quite thin underneath. You can see it's flexing quite a lot down there. Although my thumb has gone up inside, but it hasn't actually broken through. You can just see some cracks developing around the base. So it's not too bad. It could be worse. It hasn't broken through to the gravy yet. It has also exposed, just for reference, there's a lot of sort of, congealed gravy in the middle there, the filler between the meat. It looks a bit weird, but it tastes okay. So, pie contents to crust ratio to pastry. I'm going to give it a 6. It's not great. It could be better. Now, availability stroke logistics. I've never seen this pie before, which is a bad thing. Pat's Pantry. Now, obviously, it's not made in the shop we bought it from. Pretty sure of that. And they've been around since 1972. So let's just see if we can find out where they are and a bit more information about Pat's Pantry pies. Oh, well, it came up. It's from Tauranga, or Tauranga. It depends on where you're from and how you pronounce it. Right. Pat's Pantry. quality range from Gourmet Foods Limited. Pat's Pantry Pies. You need to see this. I'm going to turn you around. Bear with me. Okay, hang on, almost 3. 3, 2, 1, boom. Boom. There we go. Right. I know it's going to be difficult because you'll have to just cope. Okay. Who is Pat's Pantry? Well, that's a very good question. Quality products by Gourmet Foods Limited. It's always a bit dodgy going online on live. It says it started in 1966. Why did they put established 1972 on the packaging then? Look. 1966 there. I don't know if you can see this or not, but 1972 on there. Come on, marketing department. You should know when you were born. Named by a lady called Pat Best, and produced a variety of baked goods, including pies. In 2005, Pat's Pantry purchased Ponsonby Pie. Oh, Ponsonby Pies, they're supposed to be good. And registered the Gourmet Foods Limited name and maintains both brands. Wow, I didn't know that. Pat's Pantry providing a variety of quality baked goods. Show me. There we go. Right, so we're going to go down there. Oh, is that it? That's it. That's it. That's all you get. We believe the key factor in Pat's Pantry sales success are consistent delivery of upmarket quality products at a value for money price. Look out for Pat's Pantry footpath signs at your favourite dairy, lunch bar or service station. So that's where they're available. Dairies, lunch bars and service stations. Well, I haven't seen them before. Okay, right. Back to the test. The review. There we go. Boom. Okay, back on the live stream. Boom. There we go, look. Right, so, I mean, the packaging to me looks a little bit cheap and a bit naff. Black and red. But it has got a window. That'll give them some more points. Okay, going in. But it's not bad. You know, it's not a bad pie. So, availability logistics. Most petrol stations have their own brands of pies. They don't sell, you know, third-party pies so much. Not now. Dairies. I haven't seen one in a dairy. Never. I mean, I've bought a lot of pies over the years in New Zealand, and I've never come across one of those. So I'm going to have to draw on my own personal knowledge on this. I'm going to give them. You can't buy them online, so I'm going to give them 3. I think a 3. I think 3 is all they deserve, really, because I don't think they're that readily available. Still tasty. Oh, sorry. Pastry taste rating. Oh, well, there we go. It's perfect bit of pastry for that. So we'll whip that off there. Pastry only. Ooh, it's quite dry. It's all right though. It's got a slightly sweet taste to it. No weird aftertaste. Okay. I'll give them I'm going to give them a 6 for that one. Still tasty when cold. Well, it's not quite cold yet, so we'll have to hold back on that. Packaging design. Okay, so the packaging, it's plastic. It's got a window so you can see the pie. That's always a good thing. It's nice to know what you're buying. They've obviously taken quite a while. Somebody sat in front of Photoshop or whatever it is to design that packaging. They spent a bit of time doing that. They've got quite a nice logo. I like the logo. Very traditional sort of logo. And they give you lots of information on the back as well. So it's not too bad. A bit of work got into it. Got the window. It's well sealed. And it's actually, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, the plastic is actually perforated as well. So you could probably warm this up in the bag. In a not a pie warmer like this one because it gets too hot, but in the service stations and stuff, they just have the warmers. They don't get anywhere near as hot as that does. And it wouldn't sweat too much. It'll let the moisture out because there's nothing worse than a sweaty pie. They just fall apart. They're horrible. Not very nice to eat at all. Mrs. Mechanic had a sweaty pie the other day and it just disintegrated on her. The pastry was almost like, it was just like mush, you know, disgusting. So they've done a bit of work on this. They've refined it. They've put the little breathing holes in there and stuff. I'm going to give them an 8. I think an 8. The packaging design, good job. Now, it's plastic. Is it recyclable? I don't think there's any. No, there's no indication on there that you can recycle this packaging. So 0. It's not recyclable. Post pie heartburn. Well, we're just over halfway, and there's nothing yet. There's no burps, no nothing. Pie server attractiveness. Well, Mrs. Mechanic bought the pie. Let's see if we can message her for that. Pie server. Now, she might get that message, she might not. We'll wait and see. Yeah, actually, it's not bad. It's all right. I'm enjoying this pie. Where do we get to? Oh, it's not a fruit pie. No, it's not a fruit pie. It's a meat pie. It's a savoury pie. Pie. Drooling. Last pie I had was Friday Pie Days. Z steak and pepper. Well, it's now Sunday, Sheldon, and you need to have another pie. Simon Roll. Roger Heap, recovery? Yeah. I didn't get that either. Simple Spin. Yes, Roger. The 125s are rare and highly expensive. Roger. Oh, sorry. I thought you were unwell, Simon. I knew nothing. Simple Spin. I've never had a pie with meat in it. Well, you've missed out. These meat pies are great. Hang on. Get the camera around a bit more. We have these things in Michigan called pasties. They have potatoes, carrot, beef, roast rude bag. What the hell is that? Oh, beef roast, rude bag. Popular in the upper Pennsylvania for tourists. I bet they are. We get a Cornish pasty in the UK, and they were for the miners. There you go. Welsh coal miners invented them. That's right. And at one end was your main meal, your meaty stuff, meat and potatoes, and at the other end was your dessert. So it was like a savoury at one end and a sweet at the other, and it was all protected by the pastry. And obviously, they ate the pastry as well because that's part of the meal. But the pastry sort of took all the grime and dirt and stuff, but that was added to the flavour. So yes, very popular in the UK, and it came from Wales, from the miners. Roger Heaps, just cider effects, but gone in the morning. Good job, Simon. Simple Spin, yes, looks like a lot of filler. They need less crust. Yeah, as it's cooled down, again, I'm not sure if the camera will pick this up, but everything's gone a very matte colour. The filler, is that going to work? Yeah, just about. The filler around the meat is decidedly dodgy. It tastes okay. I think it's a pie you don't want to look at too much. You just want to eat it. So, Mrs. Mechanic's come back. Pie server attractiveness is a 7. Good job, Mrs. Mechanic. Thank you for that. Okay, so still tasty when cold. It is cooling down quite considerably now. I think it will be tolerable cold. If you left it in your glove box a couple of days, forgot about it, got hit by that sudden hunger, and you dragged it out, I think you'd get away with eating this and you wouldn't be that disappointed. Sure, it's cold, but it's still got flavour to it. I'm going to give it, go away fly, I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to give it a 6 for still tasty when cold. I am. Stuffability score. Well, we need to find out, don't we? I can't put my finger on it, but there is distinctly a weird taste going on that I've not tasted in any other pies. It might be, what was in the ingredients? It might be, hang on, bear with me. Animal vegetable fats. No. Somebody mentioned balls. It might be those, actually. Who knows? But it wasn't a bad pie. I'm not over, you know, would I have another one? No, I've had the choice. I get a Wild Bean Cafe one, wouldn't I? That's just the way I am. But look at all the crumbs. It's not one for your car, people. Definitely isn't. Oh, there's crumbs everywhere. Right. Stuffability score. Am I still hungry? I'm not really. The flavor, that sort of weird flavour thing, sort of. Oh, that's not good, is it? I'm not hungry, but it hasn't really filled me up. I'm going to give it maybe a. I'm sort of going between 6 and 7 here. I'll give it a 7. Give it a 7. Post heartburn. Well, it started to repeat now, so we'll pitch in at an 8 for now. If that, you know, if things get worse, and I grab the Gaviscon, then sure enough, that score will plummet. Right, let's see if we can add these scores up without showing any bites in the workshop. Jeez, apart from the one I can show you. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. We'll come around this bench. Bit more room. Terrible camera work. Right, turning around. 3, 2, 1. Boom. There we go. Look. Right. I don't know how much of this you can see. We've got flies emerging around the workshop right now. So 14, 24, 32, 38, 41, 47, 53, 61, 69, 76, 83. I think it's 83. If I'm wrong, please let me know. So 14, 24, we'll do it again, 24, 32, 38, 41, 47, 53, 61, 69, 76, 83. I think I'm right. Okay, where's my little strip? So this was a Pat's Pantry. Steak. And he got 83. Right, let's go and see where that ends up on the leaderboard. Boom, 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 boom. Up, turn you up. Dush. Right. Remember the bikes, Andy. Okay, here we go. Oh, so many. Oh, another burp. It might lose some more points yet. Right, we'll stick you on there for now. 83s are all down here, so we're going to need to move Starbucks up a little bit. That'll do. And the Bake Shack. And so it comes in sort of around the... There we go, look. It comes in around sort of the Jester's Steak and Cheeses, the Mrs. Max Steak and Cheese Traveller Oblongs. See, Mackenzie. Oh, that was the bacon and egg hash pie. Mackenzie steak pie is a lot better than that. There we are, look. Steak, mushroom and ale, 86. Any more Mackenzies up there? Yes, Mackenzie Steak and Cheese, 99. Very good pies, Mackenzie. So Pat's Pantry, sort of pretty, average, middle of the road kind of pie. Nothing really to jump up and down about, in all honesty. Sorry, Pat's Pantry, but it did the job. A cold, wet, nasty day. Fed the hunger. Would I buy another one? Well, why would you when you've got all those pies to choose from that are guaranteed going to be better? Right. Back to the bench. Okay. Turn you around. 3, 2, 1. Boom. There we go, look. You're a bit off to one side at the moment. I'll have to correct that. That's terrible. Sorry. Absolutely terrible camera work, Andy. There you go. How's that? Is that going to work? It's almost level. There we are. Okay, where do we get to? Lots and lots and lots of comments to catch up with. Right. Maybe flies. Where do they keep coming from? Maybe it's the dead rats under the workbench. I don't know. Okay. Right. Simple spin. Yes, looks like a lot of filler. They need less crust. I think you're right. I think the filler was a bit weird. Maybe that was where the weird aftertaste thing was coming from. But it was quite unique to that pie. I've never tasted that flavour before in a pie. Simple spin. We had a company, Keebler Cookies, where I grew up about a mile away. I grew up with the smell of that each night. They also made these Barmer pies. The most distinct smell I can remember as a child was in Yorkshire, England. There is what we call the sugar beet factory. And of course, they extract the sugar from the sugar beet. And the process involves heating the whole, boiling it all up, I think. And there was a big cooling tower, big chimney. And, of course, the chimney made clouds. And the smell of the clouds coming out was really, really sweet. It was just, I really like that smell. And I really miss it. We don't really get it over here. Very nice. I don't think they do sugar beets in New Zealand. The sound of the packing, it's going to lose points on recycle. It is. A bit crap, to be honest. Simon, a pie in the glove box for 3 days. That's why we never got. Oh, you'd be surprised. I remember walking into the office one day and I was eating this pie and I'd found it in the glove box and it must have been nearly a week old. And somebody said to me, he says, "Oh, where do you get pie from?" I said, "I found it in the glove box." And he sort of looked at me, sort of disgust. "Your glove box?" I says, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought it last week. I must have just forgotten to eat it. Maybe I got a phone call and I just had to get on the road and I'll have it now." And he couldn't comprehend the fact that I was eating a pie that was nearly a week old, cold. But hey, I'm still here. It's all good. Simple spin lol. Connor K's in the workshop. Connor, apologies for the weird screen portrait style today. My phone is not playing ball at all. I'm going to spend most of the day trying to fix it, I think, by the looks of it. Connor K says, "My brother in the US bought an electric Kia. Just don't know. But I thought hybrids have less impact on the environment. Less lithium mining and refining, small engine, and self-recharging." So you can't plug it into the mains. It creates the power from the petrol engine that's already built into the vehicle. A bit like a Prius or a Prius, depending on where you're from in the world. John Dwyer. "Hi Andy, sorry I'm late." Don't worry, mate. Today's a funny kind of live stream. I just became a great granddad to a beautiful great granddaughter. She was born today at 6:30 p.m. 7 pounds 8 ounces. Well, John, congratulations. Good job. It's always nice to have a new member of the family, isn't it? I'm sure you'll have a lot of happy memories to build with that new addition. Good job. Have they come up with a name yet? Simple spin, yes, the sugar beet factory. I like that. Congratulations, John. Absolutely. Roger Heaps sent the picture of the RV90 on Marketplace. Bit pricey though. I don't have any money to buy anything. I keep spending it on tractors and things. have a look. Oh, look at that. Nice. Suzuki RV90 1000. Looks a bit rough. Where's the headlight gone? $1,650. But it does look rough. It looks like somebody sprayed the wheels because they're probably rusty. It has got the original exhaust. That looks very rusty. The seat looks odd as well. I mean, is that the right seat for it? Because it sort of protrudes above where the fuel tank normally would be. Or is it missing the fuel tank? I don't know. Has it got... Oh, I tried to swipe left. I'm not viewing it, am I? It's a photo. What a donkey. It's in Christchurch. I think they're asking a lot for not a complete bike by the looks of it. But thank you, Roger. I will... Ooh, again. I'll keep my eyes open. John Dwyer, Simple Spin, thank you. Absolutely. Oh, John Dwyer, here's the name. Leah Elizabeth. Very nice. Leah, as in Princess Leia. Star Wars fan, obviously. A fuel tank is under the seat. So why does the seat sit like that? That's just bizarre. It just doesn't seem right, does it? The seat, you can see there, look. The seat just sort of steps up. There's nothing in front of it. It just looks a bit weird. Is that right? Probably isn't. Let's have a look. RV90. Let's have a look. Hang on, bear with me. I'll go back to RV90. It is! That's how they were. How bizarre. It just looks wrong. It looks really wrong. Very strange. Just don't get that. Don't get it. So it is missing the headlight bar, looks of it. Yeah. When you look at the ones on Google, this one looks to be in quite poor condition. But could be one for restoration. But still. $16.50. I haven't got that in my pocket money bank at the moment. I'll have to wait. We'll find another one. But thanks, Roger. Right, one more cigarette, then we're going to call it a day. How far are we up to? Oh, an hour and a half. Yeah, jeez. Okay. A few more minutes and I've got to go. I've got shit to do. Lots of shit to do. Connor K, my brother's Kia is full plug-in electric, not a hybrid. Thought hybrid did less environmental damage. I think it all depends where the electric comes from once the machine's in use. Prior to that, you've got to look at the impact on the global environment to produce that car. And that's, to me, that's something that's constantly been overlooked when it comes to electric vehicles. You know, all the lithium mining, all the massive amounts of transportation to get all the necessary materials to the right factories to produce the components and then get the components to the assembly factory. All that shipping around, that's pretty big carbon footprints. And the vast majority of the public have absolutely no idea of that aspect of the environmental impact producing that vehicle. And I really think that someone like the BBC or somebody should do an in-depth documentary including all of that aspect, and then including, you know, various countries where that same car is being used and where the power's coming from. Is it a renewable energy source, or is it a coal power station, or is it a nuclear power station? What is it? Where is it coming from? You know, and the nuclear fuel, where they dispose of that, the harm that has on the environment. You know, look at the whole picture, not just what it's like or the difference at the pump. That's all that really is all that they look at the moment, and it's just wrong, completely wrong. Simon used to live next to a butcher's factory, going to work at 5 a.m. The air was filled with the smell of pork crackling and mince pies. Honestly, Simon, you live the dream. Absolutely. That would make you so hungry, wouldn't it? I remember when I was a kid, Mum used to send me down to the butcher's. Morning, Mum. Send me down to the butcher's in Sheriff Hutton. I think the butchers are closed by now. Only a little shop it was. And she'd send me down for some pork or something. And the butcher would always, whenever I went down, he'd always give me a piece of crackling to chew on my walk home. Top bloke. Used to miss those days. Roger Heaps seems very rough for the money. It does seem very rough for the money. A simple spin. Never tried a mince pie, a mince meat pie. Well, you should get someone to make you one. I mean, man, you can go and buy a tin of stewing steak or something and just make up a pastry base and a pastry lid and chuck it in and put it all together and put it in the oven. Can't be that hard. Maybe we should do a competition who can make the best meat pie. Still trying to get Mrs. Mechanic to make them though. I reckon she'll make some bloody good pies. She's good at baking. She's really good. Tends to go for more of the sweet stuff rather than the savoury stuff, but I need to get her to make some pies. She keeps telling me she will, but not yet. Maybe she's saving it for another day. My coffee is full of bits of pastry, all that flaky pastry. And it's ridiculously cold. So today's job is to load up. It's not going to be very easy because it's all Ben's stuff. It's under the carport. And so I can't put the trailer under the carport to load it because then I can't get access to all this stuff. So I'm going to be getting really wet today. One of those things. Get a nice hot shower later on. That'll sort me out. Roger Heaps, right, better go feed the pigs and chickens and catch up next week. Cheers to all. Thank you, Roger, for joining us. Sorry it's been a stupidly narrow screen today. Bloody phones, honestly. Take care, mate, and I'll see you next Sunday for sure. So yeah, I'm loading up the trailer. That's my job today. It's pretty much all I've got to do today. So I'll get a good job done there. And then maybe a movie this afternoon. Maybe I'll watch that bearing video on YouTube. I'll try and do that later on. Okay, crew, looks like we're signing off. Thank you all for joining. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the pie review, as always. Not a bad pie, but not a good pie either. Pretty average. If you want to support the channel, so we can get a full-size screen again, you can do that through Patreon or PayPal. And they've also done, just for your interest, on the comments, the videos now, they do a smart comment where you can donate through a comment on YouTube. Not sure if it's available all over the world, but YouTube tell me that I can do it, and I've activated it, so we'll wait and see if one comes through, won't we? Okay, crew, again, thank you very much. Time for me to go do some work. See you around. Cheers. Over and out.